Hey guys, Sonic Smasher here, and Rush Duel King of Games is done for this month way faster than last month, just saying. Anyway, before we get on to the main meat of this, you may notice my gem count has gone down a little bit. Don't worry, I do plan on breaking 9,000 by the time Alt Style Yusei gets here. I just have to grind a bit in the middle of also grinding Rider Super Shadow over on Speed Battle next week. But anyway, I did say I'd profile 7s again with Roadstar Gladimagia. Yeah, I do believe that's how that's pronounced finally. From the new support, I do believe this card comes up enough to where it's actually worth putting in, so it's worth profiling the deck a second time to show off this card. Let's take a look at this with the skill of choice, Master Accelerode. Can be activated once per turn, from turn 2 and onward, by revealing one 7-0 Magician, 7-0 Witch, or Swordsman of Roadstar in your hand if all of the effect monsters in your constructed main deck are Spellcaster type monsters. Add up to 2 in any combination of 7-0 Magician, 7-0 Witch, Swordsman of Roadstar, and or Fusion in your deck or graveyard to your hand. If you added 2 cards to your hand by this effect, also send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Starting this off, I got triple 7-0 Magician. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and this card gains attack points equal to the number of different attributes in your graveyard times 300 until the end of this turn. We have our Legend Monster Magician's Valkyria. Your opponent cannot attack face-up spellcaster type monsters other than this card. Surprisingly, very useful sometimes. Triple 7-0 Witch. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 7 or higher. Dark attribute, spellcaster type monster from your hand, face up to your field. If you special summon 7-0 Magician by this effect, this card gains 400 attack points until the end of this turn. Triple 7-0 Sorcerer. Send 3 face-up monsters from your field to the graveyard. Special summon 1 level 7 or lower spellcaster type monster from your graveyard, face up to your field. If you special summon 7-0 Magician by this effect, you can also special summon 1 7-0 Witch from your graveyard, face up to your field. Triple Strange Witch. If you have no other monsters on your field, special summon 1 7-0 Charm Witch or 7-0 Witch from your graveyard face up to your field, then you can add 1 fusion from your graveyard to your hand. Triple Mystic Dealer. Send a spellcaster from hand to grave, draw 1, very simple. And we have our Arrow and Flare Sorcerer, just for wind and fire attribute respectively for 7-0. These are also spellcasters. I would love Phoenix Dealer, but we don't have that right now. Anyway, there's also Triple Swordsman of Roadstar. We need this for scale, we need this for 7's Paladin, we need this for Roadstar Gladimagia. Anyway, that's it for monsters on the Spells and Traps. Polymerization. Fusion summon by sending monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard as fusion material. Don't sleep on this card, it's extremely useful. Triple Magical Stream. If you have a face-up spellcaster type monster on your field, destroy 1 spell trap card on the opponent's field. Talismanic Sail Array. Shuffle 4 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. 1 face-up monster on the opponent's field loses attack points equal to its level times 200 until the end of this turn. Very simple, but very useful. Double Fusion. Fusion summon by sending monsters face up from your field to the graveyard as fusion materials. As for traps, we have Compulsory Activation Device. When a player normal or special summons a monster, or after your opponent activates a spell card, return 1 monster from the field to the owner's hand. And the Buffered Slime. When an opponent's level 8 or lower monster declares an attack, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This turn you take no further battle damage, then if your life points are 3,000 or higher, you also take 2,000 damage. Onto the extra deck, starting with 7-0 Ultima Witch. Shuffle 1 spell card from your opponent's graveyard into the deck, then you can add 1 spell card from your graveyard to your hand. Also, for the rest of this turn, you can only activate 1 normal spell card. Next up, we got Master of the Seven's Road. This card gains attack points equal to the number of Dark Attribute spellcaster type monsters with different names in your graveyard times 300. If you have 7 or more Dark Attribute spellcaster type monsters in combination in your graveyard, this card also inflicts piercing battle damage. Double 7's Paladin. We no longer play 3, we don't need 3 anymore. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard to activate one of these effects. Either this card can gain attack points equal to the number of different attributes in both players' graveyards times 400 until the end of this turn, so an upgraded 7-0 Magician, or it can shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into the deck, and then you can draw 1 card. The new Roadstar Gladimagia. This card can be Contact Fusion. What that means is, if you have the 2 monsters required face up on your field, you also can just shuffle them back to bring this thing out without needing fusion or polymerization. You can, of course, fusion summon normally if you so choose, but you don't need to. Anyway, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. to activate one of these effects. Either make one face-up monster in your opponent's field lose attack and defense points equal to the number of spellcaster monsters that are dark attribute with different levels in your graveyard times 400 until the end of this turn, or this card can inflict piercing battle damage this turn. You can tell which one comes up more often, just saying. 770 Charm Witch. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Change the battle position of one monster in your opponent's field. Also, this card inflicts piercing battle damage this turn. If you have 7-0 Magician in your graveyard, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn either. So, that is it for the deck proper. Time to get on to replays. And for once, I actually have a bonus replay. So, let's get right into things, shall we? So, from one of the failed attempts, I got this abomination of a run. This only took 3 attempts, thankfully, but on one of the failed ones, I got this weird game.
Can't know who'll win this rush duel till we start playing.
So this is a really not that great hand. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
It's my turn. I draw. Okay. I activate my monster. 7's Road Whiz. Oh, nothing will stop my.
You can tell this guy does not know what he's doing and is trying to set up Master of the 7's Road. I might do a build of this dedicated to Master of the 7's Road eventually, but not right now. Pitch the fusion.
7's Road Sorcerer. Leave the weapon. I activate 7's Road. Nothing will stop. Swordsman of Roots. 7's Road Magician activates his effect. Here I come. Fusion Summon.
And this is where Contact Fusion comes into play.
I'm gonna set a clock. Time to battle.
So watch this. That's 1600 damage, right?
You sure that's gonna
Why would you activate Buffered Slime there? You just dealt more damage to yourself. And costed yourself Star Protector's protection, which meant you could have taken control of Gladimagia if you had not done that. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I draw. Anything is
Yeah, do whatever.
Here I come.
Why are you playing Avian?
Roadstar. A walk. Nothing will stop. 7's Road Magician.
And you don't think to just, you know, add 7's Road Witch? What are you doing?
7's Road Magician. Attack. This duel's up. Here I go. I end. It's my turn. I draw. I activate my spell card. I activate.
Add the guess on a Star Protector's protection. Got that out of the way.
Nothing will stop. 7's Road Magician, here I come. I summon a monster.
And then Shiny Shady. Nice try. I'm ready for that.
I activate my trap. A wall. A mountain. Not even a planet can block my way. Nothing will stop my road to victory.
And now you have a 7's Paladin to contest. But because you set your own monster face down, I know that's 1500 defense. You're done, sir. You're just done. You took yourself out on that one.
I've chosen which affects 7's. Okay, 7's Road Witch, go! Time to end this. I attack you directly. I may have lost this duel, but next time will be different. Even if you're in trouble?
Yeah, this guy was just not good. Anyway, on to the climb proper. Like I said, this only took 3 attempts, which is unusual considering how much Rush hates me, but anyway, moving right along. So, it's clear as day at this point that Manabu is better off just playing the Chemical
This is one
Fusion
duel
build
that I
instead of
have
his
to
Maximum
win.
monster.
This
Once
is the
again,
Super
Maximum's being
So
shoved by the
render yourself.
wayside.
Here we go. Get
Manic
ready for the
Sogetsu.
rush.
Go rush! My turn. I draw. I set a monk. That
I'm gonna
ends
speed
my
up
So-
this duel.
This is kind of a weird start.
I'm loading. Mystic Dealer. Mystic Dealer, activate. Inherit the set. Lead the way.
And this guy has Trapple.
Seven's Road Sorcerer.
Joke's on you, I top decked another 7th Road Witch.
I activate Seven's Road. Nothing will stop. Seven's Road Magician activates his effect. Elemental Road. Time to battle.
Really, I just wanted to get some more attributes into the graveyard, hopefully.
Seven's Road Magician.
Plus, I didn't trust
This duel's only
us
getting
to,
started.
mill the Strange Witch there.
My turn.
Oops.
Time to begin my experiment. It's my turn. I draw. My ability.
So, Alchemy Blaze is basically Master Accelerode, but for Manabu.
Ember, the hyper assist. I activate Ember, the hyper. Roar!
And so, Chemicalized Salamander hits the field, and this is gonna hurt.
Effect. Chemical burn. All right. Okay. I battle. Now then. Show chemicalized salamander. Here goes.
You got it.
Here we go, time for things to go a little crazy.
I draw. Seven's Road Sorcerer. I activate my spell card. Magical Stream. I activate my spell card. Magic. Gotta take a.
Star Protector's Protection and Shiny Shady, I could not chance that.
I activate Seven's Road. Nothing will.
So, unfortunately, I'm gonna be in a bit of a bad position here. This is not the position I want to be in.
Attack! Seven's Road West. Go! With that, I end my turn.
I am in lethal range for Chromatographagus with that fusion.
I draw.
That is a terrifying thought.
Set a monster. I set.
And somehow he got nothing. I won't question it.
Swordsman of Roadstar. Gotta take a. I activate my spell.
You may notice, however, I go for fusion, but I specifically make Gladimagia.
Fusion summon.
Look at my graveyard. I'm gonna pause this for a second just to actually show this. Look how many Dark Attribute Spellcaster monsters I have. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. The other Magician is 5. Which will make 6. And the next Magician will make 7. Can you see where this is going?
Nothing will stop. I activate my spell card. A planet, a galaxy. Not even the universe can block my way. Nothing will stop my road to infinity. I fusion summon.
Guess who gets to come up and have the piercing actually matter?
Master of the Seven's Road.
This is a rare occasion, so I'm letting this play out. It is extremely rare for the piercing damage to actually do something.
I activate my monster's effect. I'm gonna set a card. Okay.
The question is, will this be enough?
Attack!
This is nothing.
And it looks like it will be.
The road to glory. Master of the Seven's Road, bring home the win. Ultimate Seven's magic attack.
Goodbye!
Remember this. You'll see me again if you cause any trouble.
Duel,
That
you wanna
never
duel.
gets to
As long as it
happen.
makes you happy.
Pretty much 99% of the time. But when it does, on the rare chance it does, you get situations like that where it actually makes a difference. Anyway, moving right along, you got yet another Sevens matchup. And this is where things get a little bit weird. It's not as dumb as, like, seriously, why would you activate Comfort Slime in that one situation? You could have saved yourself. Like, what were you doing?
Let's make the most of— Can't know who— Here we go! Here we— Get ready for the rush! Here I draw!
Admittedly, this defensive line is very mediocre. I don't know exactly how this went the way it did. And mill the spell, so no counting as 2 tributes for Lily Slayer here. But here comes the shenanigans.
Swordsman of Roadstar!
He is going for the Gladimagia.
Here I come! Fusion Summon! I activate my monster's effect! Flare Sorcerer! Time to— now!
Fortunately, he guesses wrong here.
Flare Sorcerer! Sparta! 7 throw back! 7! It's not over yet! This duel's only getting started! I end my turn! Here I go! It's my turn! I draw! There's always a chance to come back in a rush duel!
Alright, so this is going to be an interesting hand to have to work with.
Okay! Ice! I activate my— lethal weapon! 7's Road Sorcerer! A wall! A mountain! Not even a planet can block my way! Nothing will stop—
Yeah, 2 can play that game, buddy. Get Gladimagia on the field, and I still have a pitch.
Nothing will stop. I activate my monster's effect. 7's Road Magician.
More piercing damage, and just as planned.
7's Road Magician. Attack.
Well, piercing damage was a debuff, but still. That is still enough to get a full board break. The question now is, how do we go from here?
I activate my spell card, Recovery Force.
Who plays Recovery Force anymore? That's what really confuses me. And you would think you would send back Gladimagia. You would also think you would send back your 7's Red Witch. Just saying.
Looks like today wasn't my day.
This is why I don't like Magical Swordsman of Roadstar or 7 Spear Magician. This particular support just doesn't help it much. Like, if you're dedicating the Master of the 7's Road, sure, but even then, like, only Magical Swordsman of Roadstar would be worth it for that. Just saying. And people wonder why I didn't bother putting in the new support at all. Outside of, again, Gladimagia, which is actually really good. So, we have more Monaboo!
Every time we do—
This is the—
here we—
Maddox, so
get ready for the
rush! My turn, I draw. I'll set, that ends
I'm gonna
my turn.
speed up.
And he bricked! Royally so.
Come on out! I summon a monster!
You must not think much of me.
Flare Sorcerer! 7's Road Sorcerer! A wall! Nothing will stop! 7's Road Magician.
So, unfortunately, because I don't mill enough attributes, I only have 4, I can't exactly take game this way. I was thinking of just holding the fusion for later, but then I had a better idea. Consider that alchemicalized salamander blows up your back row. Why give him the ammunition? Let's go for the master.
Master of the 7's Road!
This is normally not ideal, but in this matchup, I might not have a choice in the matter.
With that, I end my turn.
Begin my experiment. I draw. I'll use the card I said.
Heavy Roller?
I can turn a block.
First of all, why would you Heavy Roller
Just this
away
once.
Ember the
Don't
Hyper
feel
Assistant?
bad. No shame
Second of
losing
all,
to the creator
why are
of
you
the
playing
game.
Heavy Roller in the first place? This is weird. Like, why would you do that? Some people I just don't get. But now to be actually terrified. Anytime you see Uamu, you know you are in for an absolute grind game from hell. I actually get scared every time I see Uamu because I know that Red Boot is gonna cheese out a 3-1 turn kill the moment you go on the offensive once. And now that they run Curse of the Rising Light seriously, you can't necessarily say you're safe either.
Let's make the most
Or
out of
even if you
this
try to play on the
duel.
defensive.
Here we go. Get ready.
So Uamu can very easily just
Here I go.
break through most
It's my
defenses
turn.
with no real issue.
I set a monster. I'll set a monster. I set a card. I set a card. I'll set a monster. This duel's only getting started.
It's my
I
turn.
end my
So this
turn.
is not a great start.
I'm setting a monster. I'm ending my
Here I
turn.
go. It's my. I draw. Mystic Dealer. Mystic Dealer. Gotta take a risk.
Double dealer.
Mystic Dealer activates his. Mystic Dealer activates his effect. I activate my spell card.
Go for a magical stream.
Walk. Nothing will stop my.
And we're actually going to be banking on 7's Road Witch here.
Come on out. Ice. I activate my spell card. Okay.
Charm Witch is going to try to get us something good here.
I activate my monster's effect. Seven's
We flip a 0 attack monster. That is beautiful.
Elemental. I'll set a monster.
And with 3,600 attack points,
Seven's Road Magician.
this gives us a little bit of leeway.
This'll do.
Let's see just how much defense you have. And that is not enough to survive. Fortunately, we took out Uamu before she ever got a chance to get the fusion plays going.
As long as I get a chance, I can load my code to victory.
Yeah, that was, put quite bluntly, luck. I got lucky there. The 4th game in a streak is usually my curse. If I can get past that, 99% of the time, the 5th game is a breeze. Unfortunately, it was Manya, so it wasn't meant to be as much of a breeze as I would hope.
Let's make the most out of this rush duel.
Eemy and
Here we go.
Go rush!
Get ready for the rush.
It's I draw. I set a monster. I set a card.
Set 2 back row, 1 monster, and that's Rainopolis. Here we go.
Gotta take a risk. Seven's Road Sorcerer. Lead the way. I activate Seven's Road. Nothing will stop. Seven's Road Magician activates Swordsman of Roadstar.
So we're going for the Gladimagia.
Fusion summon a monster.
I kind of decided to go all or nothing on this approach because this is a little bit crazy on my part.
Attack with my monster.
0 defense, that is not going to be enough to survive. I don't know how I pulled this off, but for a King of Games rank up attempt, this went
Direct
easy. Yeah, Manya just kind of didn't get a chance to do anything.
My makeup's smeared. My costume's torn.
Win or lose, it's all about leaving with a smile.
And your deck just decided to not give you a chance to play. Anyway, that's 7's Fusion Road in King of Games way faster than last time. Honestly, Gladimagia helps a lot. You might not think it at first, but it's the one card among the new support that I actually consider really good. Contact Fusion, meaning you don't need Fusion to get it onto the field. It can do Piercing, which means you get around set 3 pass situations, and on top of all of that, you can actually debuff opponents. It's not as consistent in terms of doing raw damage output as 7's Paladin, but it gets around situations that 7's Paladin can't. So all in all, it's a good tech card. I would consider maybe going like 1 Paladin and the 2 Gladimagia, but ultimately I do kind of just prefer like a 2-in-1 spread, because 7's Road Charm Witch is just too good to pass up. So most would do like 1-1-2-2-2, I do 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 because I do think Charm Witch is that important. But, nonetheless. Yeah, 7s is still really strong. That's all I really have to say to that one. So, you might think for speed that alt-style Yusei will be the next profile. It might be. It depends on if I do King of Games before then. If I do, it's probably just gonna be like no profile this month for speed, and I'll just do Prime Photon Galaxy. If I don't make it before then, what I am gonna try to do is alt-style Yusei. So, here's hoping that things work out, because I am definitely gonna be in the lab and testing as much as I can with alt-style Yusei once we know what the skill does, once we know what cards we're getting, and I am going to be, like, putting all my work into making sure I can actually make the most of this. But with that, that's all I really have to say for this one. Until the next video, whenever it might be, later guys!